Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is messages from your heart chakra. So any messages of healing or guidance that your heart chakra has for you right now, that's what we're going to be taking a look at. So we have 3 cards to choose from. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. And this is pile number 3. So see which card you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your heart chakra has for you. So you chose this card. Now I'm actually going to take a look at the message last. So I'm actually just going to place this up here and then we will turn it over and read the message at the end of the reading. So let's get in. I'm going to start with the cards and then we are going to... Well, I'm just doing all our oracle cards for this reading basically because I just want to channel. So, pile number 1, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of pile number 1. Tap me into the heart chakra of my pile number 1. I just got shown the scene from Avatar when Naturi turns to Jake and she says, "You have a stronger heart, no fear." There's something about your heart being very, very bold. And unfuckwithable, like unshakable is the word. That's something that's coming through. Like I just feel like you're very passionate, very, very passionate individuals. That's something that I'm being told straight away. Pile number 1, please spirit guides, what messages do pile number 1's heart chakra have for them right now? What messages does pile number 1's heart chakra have for them right now? We have travel. I just heard "I walk a lonely road, the only road that I have ever known." I always forget the song and the people who sing it. I'm sure it was like Boulevard something. You guys commented before when it came through on a different reading. But I just shared that song when I looked at that card then. Pile number 1. I'll channel once I've got the cards down now. Pile 1. What message does pile number 1's heart chakra have for them? Okay. We have the mirror. Pile number 1. What message does pile number 1's... We have release. Pile number 1, please spirit guides. Oh! We have the waterfall, abundance, and we have the tree, strength. And the back of the deck, we have the timer. Okay. All right. Let me make sure that's like straight because I always have it a little bit wonky and I don't know why. Maybe I've made it more wonky, I don't know, but let's just get into the cards. So pile number 1, please spirit guides, what message does pile number 1's heart chakra have for them? I'm being told to say the word love is eternal. The thing about you guys, you have such a strong heart, you have such a beautiful heart, and I feel like you love so passionately that when the world takes its course and the world, you know, brings its shifts in and you alchemize and you bring your shifts in and you chase other desires and all of that, it's like there's a grief, like a feeling of loss and separation when you have to walk away. I feel like you're quite nostalgic people. Pile 1, you may have a lot of Cancer energy in your chart. Like I feel like you're very nostalgic and I feel like you may just have a lot of water energy in your chart because water carries memories and, you know, carries energy. And there's almost this essence of like, when I love something, I want it with me forever. But to love is to let go at the same time. And your heart chakra is calling you and inviting you to even expand to a bird's eye level and realize that when we do move on from certain homes we're living in, when we move on from family members, when we move on from friendships, when we move on, we're not letting go, they're not gone. When we create a bond with someone in the physical world, that creates a tie, and it's a soul tie. And not only that, I feel like even soul ties, that word's been given a bit of a distorted name. we create a love, we create a moment, we create a memory with that soul that is eternal. That feeling that we feel and that connection we have to that soul, it is eternal because love is eternal. So when we move on in this physical world, which goes by in a blink of an eye in terms of the spiritual lens, when we're moving on and we're shifting and we're moving to other paradigms and we're moving on with our life, we're not losing somebody, because nothing is ever lost. We all come from the same source. We all come from the same seed. We're all entangled. And a lot of the time, pal, when we incarnate with certain souls, I feel like you may have been from my pal the other day and I was talking about this, about release, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been the Akashic record reading, but I was saying, like, when we incarnate, we usually incarnate with soulmates and members of our soul tribe to help us work through wounds in certain situations. But the thing is, we're only responsible for ourselves in this incarnation. And sometimes people don't want to heal, and sometimes people don't want to release, and sometimes people don't want to live up to a certain potential that we see in them. And some people, it's just not in their own chart. It's not in their own soul mission to reach a certain potential. It's not something that they're working through yet. And just because we can't force them to shift and change with us. We're only responsible for ourselves. So there's this energy of allowing. It's like your heart chakra's calling you to allow that space for growth, even if one tree is going one way and one tree is going the other way. Because at the end of the day, when this incarnation has passed, that love and those memories we would have created with each other in that moment, that was sacred. That was the whole purpose. That was the love. That's what it was. You know what I mean? There's like a bittersweet feeling coming through with this release card. But when we do allow the winter to take over, summer comes. We literally have the waterfall here, abundance. When the water comes through and it flows down the river, it doesn't stop. There's always more water coming through. You know what I mean? When a branch falls or a leaf falls, there is always a new bud to come through. You know, when the tree loses its leaves in the winter, there is almost always more leaves to come through in the spring. And that's the whole purpose of life, to go through these transformations, to go through these ebbs and flows and not get caught up and stuck. You know what I mean? Because I was watching, I think it was Dolores Khan, and I was watching one of her videos the other day. I think it was the video Life After Death. I feel like you might benefit from watching that. And what she was talking about in that reading, it was like when we well, it wasn't a reading, she was just talking, but she was saying when we lose someone and we want them to stay, their own soul has lived out their own path. Their own soul has lived out their own journey. And the reason we want them to stay, it's for our benefit of, like, I need you here with me. I need you here with me. I need you here because you make me feel this way. You make me feel that way. All the while that soul has lived out their purpose. You know what I mean? And has to ascend and move on. Or even like when we're in a relationship and that relationship has reached its day. A lot of people will stay out of comfortability. You know what I mean? Even though they're not happy. Or it could be that two souls were destined to meet, to share a set of experiences and move on, and then find something that was more better fitted. But it's like we want to hold on to that person in that moment because it's like, but I loved you though, so you need to stay because I loved you and it's comfortable for you to stay here. However, that soul has their own set of experiences and other relationships maybe to go through, as do you. So there's this essence that your heart chakra is calling you to have this elastication. I'm hearing elastic heart by Sia, to have this elastication to allow everything to ebb and flow the way that it needs to, and not to try and control and be wary and scared of your own heart, because you have such a strong heart, but sometimes you're scared of commitment, or you're scared of bringing people in because it's like, well, you're going to leave one day. But everybody's going to leave one day. We're not going to live on this earth forever. These bodies are borrowed. We're going to leave these physical vessels one day. You know what I mean? We don't want to attach ourselves and connect, you know what I mean, to that when we have something else waiting for us in another paradigm, in another, incarnation. We don't want to bound ourselves here when the body's telling us it's tired and it's time for us to depart. You know what I mean? Everything's borrowed. The air that we're breathing is borrowed. You know what I mean? You don't hold the breath in your lungs for the rest of your life. You breathe in, you breathe out, you let it go. The world's always turning. The world is always shifting. That's why there's seasons. And we need to be open to embracing them, because we're here as souls as well as learning certain lessons too. We're here as souls to create memories, to create experiences, to live the human life. And if we're attached to a certain time period that was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago, we're not opening up to the experience and the beauty that we could have moving forward with another set of souls or another set of experiences. Where you're sitting right now and watching this, wherever you are, if you're in the bath, you're in the car, whatever you're doing, you're laying in your bed, you do know that there's a whole, and this is spirit talking, you do know that there is a whole timeline and pathway of possibilities, of experiences you haven't even had yet, that are going to make your own soul sing. Do you know there's people waiting to love you deeper than you've ever been loved before? On the horizon waiting. There is experiences that you are going to have that are going to birth new ideas of career and you know, pathways for your own soul right in front of you. But the only thing is, they're not behind you. You had beautiful experiences, and allow them to be what they are. Accept them, they were beautiful. But know that it's when it's time to let them go, so that you can open up to the beauty that is in front of you. We always look back and we see how everything connected and we see how everything was setting us up for this and that, but we forget to apply that moving forward. We're moving and weaving through roads right now that are taking us somewhere very beautiful. You know what I mean? But we worry, so we hold on to what's comfortable or what will make us feel good. Is my heart ever going to love again? Am I ever going to have that? You will, but you have to be open to it and open to all the possibilities. Because even if somebody isn't in your life forever, they'll serve as a stepping stone to take you somewhere else. And that's the whole point of life. We're always shifting and changing. Even human beings, you know, we resolute and we shift when we look at evolution. You know what I mean? Of everything. There's always a time for things to be transmuted away and brought in. And it weaves that way then, you know? That's why we have the timer here. I feel like you may be thinking back to a certain experience or wanting somebody back. And it's fine to honor that emotion. Like, you're not doing anything wrong there. It's fine to honor that emotion, but we don't want to attach to that emotion. Because to attach to it, we're holding on to that experience and we're not telling the universe that we are open to a newer one. You know, I used to, I'll give you an example. I used to have someone that I was never in a relationship with. And for 4 years, I held on to them, right? Never was in a relationship with them, and they'd get in other relationships with other people, never with me, with other people. But I held on to the connection that we had, and I held on to a point that maybe one day we'd be together. And nothing ever else came in romantically or love-wise, because I was just holding on to this person. And I was like saying I was open, but I wanted my cake and eat it too. I wanted to hold on to this person until someone else came in, which is very selfish of me, but that's what I was doing, because that feeling that I felt with that person, I didn't know if I'd have it again, so I wanted to hold them there until I had that feeling with someone else. And this person didn't treat me right at all, and I even lowered my standards to keep them there. Like, I lowered that to just feel that feeling because I was scared I wouldn't have it again. And I had to get really real with myself and cut that person out, because they just kept hurting me and hurting me and hurting me, and I wasn't learning the lesson. Even when I was understanding the lesson, I didn't want to let go. And that was my own thing. I had to let go and allow it to transform. I saw what we could have been, but they didn't want to become that. Sorry for the flight, guys. Has a little message, I'm guessing. But I didn't want to let go because I could see the potential in that person and what we could be. But me not being able to move past that potential was blocking anything else coming in, moving forward. And it was blocking my own self-love journey and me tapping into who I was, and allowing my heart to expand further than what it was, to open to a greater love that was more significant than whatever that was. You know what I mean? Whatever that was. And that's just something that I wanted to share, because I feel like as human beings, we all do it. And there's a message from your heart chakra, like, allow yourself to let go and embrace new and embrace change. And I'm hearing the song Two Oruguitas from Encanto. I feel like you would have been from that pile the other day, the Akashic, I think it was the Akashic record pile, where I was talking about the karma that you may be working through is learning to release and let go and be open to the new. You may be from that, because I'm sure that song came up in that reading as well. There's definite similarities, so you must be the same pile. Pile number, actually I'm being told to use these cards instead. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What message does the heart chakra have for them? We have sea glass. Your future is being rewritten. A time for deep healing. Okay. I love all the blue here. I love all the blue. Something about like the tide going out, the tide coming in. Allow it to go out and allow it to come in. It's like you don't want to surrender to the universe. And your heart chakra saying, do it. Like, surrender. Allow the universe to take you where you need to go. Surrender. And it's a testimony to your own big, beautiful heart that you just see the potential in people and you want to hold on because that's a love. But it's just strongly coming through from the heart chakra. That love will always be there. That experience will always be there. There's an essence. Don't you want to see what's beyond? Don't you want to see what awaits you? We have the anchor. Be hopeful and choose optimism. And what happens with anchors? They stick themselves into the sand, into the ground, and they stick there. You're being called to unbind from that. Be hopeful and choose optimism. There's like a worry that you won't get something back. Look at that at the back of the deck. The sunken ship. Your past does not have to determine your future. You're being called to let go of something or someone and embrace the new. And how do you do that? How would you say they do that, Pal One? Spirit guides for Pal One. I just keep hearing let go, like writing down. There's something about like, okay, they're giving me a lead here. They're almost giving me a lead, but they're telling me it's your journey to go down. Whatever it is that you're thinking back to, that you can think of in this reading, if it's like a person. I mean, if it isn't a person or a time period, then this probably isn't your reading. But if you're thinking back to a person or a period, think about it. What is it about that? What is it that's making you nostalgic about that? What is it? What feeling did it bring you? And there's a question here, and it may trigger, what did that feeling bring you that you don't bring to yourself? You know what I mean? What feeling is it bringing you that you don't bring to yourself? Because there's an energy to look at what you were getting from that situation or that person that you're not getting from yourself right now that wants you to keep that there. What is it? Is it a feeling of worthiness? Are you chasing a high? Is it escapism? Are you not enjoying the current moment, so you're remembering a time where you were a lot more happier? Did that person validate your own needs? Did that person make you feel worthy? And then look at that question, why don't I make myself feel worthy? Why am I not getting that from myself? Why is there not happiness in my life right now that I have to think back of that? How can I bring happiness into my life right now? How do I do that? How do I make myself feel good? You embrace the present and where you're currently at. Or if it's about a person and a certain energy they brought, how do you bring that into your life right now by yourself? Because if we don't bring it to ourselves, we'll search for it in other people. But once we brought it to ourselves, we don't get caught up in the ebbs and flows of everybody else and everything changing, because we already have that sufficiency within, you know? For example, like I was saying about my connection, I was around someone for 4 years. They were validating my self-worth when they were around me. But then when they got in another relationship, it would trigger insecurities within myself. Had I tapped into my own self-worth and known whether they were in my life or not, didn't validate my worth, I would never have been bothered. And quite frankly, I wouldn't have even allowed them around me. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't allow them around me right now. I had to go on that own kind of experience myself. So there's an essence here. What is missing within you that you feel is going to come from that time period of that person. And whatever that feeling is, follow it all the way through. And it's your own journey. I'm not going to imprint. Spirit's saying not to imprint. Just follow that through and bring it to yourself. Maybe a bit triggering, but you're being called to bring it to yourself so that there is more of a leeway for the newness to come in. I feel like some of you guys may be stuck somewhere, but by doing that and bringing that in with you, your future is being rewritten. Love that. Let's take a look at your card. We have wait. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. There's a message as well from your heart chakra that life is an experience. Allow the tides to go in and out. That's something that I'm being told. Life is a journey. And anytime that we feel that something is missing and lost within us, it's actually a chance for us to go deeper to the root to find out what we truly need on a soul level. Because you may be going through like a karmic loop of maybe connections with people that are short-lived, or situations that are short-lived. They come in, they make you feel a type of way, and then they leave. And then you're like, well, why is nothing staying? And then it's creating that fear of rejection and letting go. But once you bring whatever it is that you're looking for, whoever else and somebody else, whether it's self-importance, love, maybe you're looking for love in other people instead of yourself first. Once you bring that to you, you're breaking that karma, like we have with the sunken ship. Your past does not have to define your future, and then your future is being rewritten. You're breaking that karma. So by breaking that karma and bringing it to yourself, whatever it is that you're searching from that moment, that time period, that person, by bringing it to yourself, you break the karma, so that lesson doesn't need to be learned anymore. So once you're in that energy, someone else who is also in that energy can step towards you, or a set of experiences that are more concrete can step towards you, and you'll be able to allow them to come in without having to learn the lesson of the trigger of letting go, because you would have allowed it to come in naturally and in a way that how do I explain this? In a way that is open to all possibilities. So you're not controlling, because you're surrendering then, because you know you're in control of you and you don't have to control anything else, because you're already in control of you and you're fine either way. I hope that makes sense. And I'm also being told to take your time. This is a journey. You don't have to rush. Take your time. Take your time going within. Take your time looking for whatever it is that's keeping you to that and anchor to that moment and time period and person. Take your time following the route. Don't push yourself. Allow it to flow. And you'll edge closer and closer to your truth. And it'll be like soul retrieval, pulling them parts of yourself back to you. Beautiful. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if this resonated. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your heart chakra has for you right now. So you guys chose this card. Now I'm actually going to take a look at this card last, and I'm going to place it up at the top because we're going to use it to conclude the reading. And we are going to get straight in. So let's get in. Spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s, please. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. Oh, well, this card just jumped out straight away. So we have the Eye. Pile number 2, please, Spirit guides. Tap me into the collective of pile number 2. What does the heart chakra have to say right now? What messages does the heart chakra have to say? I feel like you may be from my spirit guide pile the other day, where I was talking about that pile going through a reboot within their own heart chakra. I feel like that's something you may be working through. So you may not be able to feel your heart chakra as strongly right now. There may be like a little bit of a revamp, or you may even be tapping into how do I explain this? There's a yin yang to everything. We can call it the light and dark if we want. And even in spirituality and on the spiritual journey, we reach a point where we have to go through shadow work and the dark night of the soul and really touch on the elements of truth. And we have to really meet our darkness then, and we have to tap into parts of ourselves and not ignore parts of ourselves that are within us. And sometimes they're parts of ourselves that we've shunned because we've been told that we shouldn't tap into them because they're dark, like maybe confidence, or people say, oh, you're being too confident, or you're taking too much, or even receiving, like when we've been overgiven for a lot of our life, when we get into that energy of receiving and asking for that, we may be like, well, why am what's going on here? Am I am I turning into like a narcissist or something like that? Like, what's going on? Because I'm now asking for my worth. I've got wants and needs. What is this? Like, there's almost this feeling of like your heart chakra becoming balanced, and you may be going through a reboot where everything's being shut down to be turned back on, but there's also this essence of you starting to really start to like feel who you are, or feel confident in who you are, or really see things like it's like you're getting a better understanding of the yin yang, the dark, the light, the truth, the distortion. Like, you're getting a better understanding of it, and it may be confusing you right now because it's nothing that you've known so far. You know what I mean? You may be like, am I turning dark? But it's not. You're becoming more well-rounded. You're understanding the true nature, the duality. We cannot have light without dark, and anyone that doesn't acknowledge the dark, that they're bypassing, choosing to stay in the light. You know what I mean? Which is a shadow attribute of fear. We have to balance both, and that's something that you're doing, but there's a confusion here that I feel like this reading may be clearing up. Pile number 2. Tap me into the heart chakra of my pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What's the message from pile number 2? Let me grab the card. Okay, we have the bow and arrow hitting your target. That's upside down. I never look at the messages in the back of the card. Focus, okay. Yeah, it's like you're seeing things clearer. You're seeing things clearer in a more balanced view. I'll get to it now. Let me just lay the cards. Pile 2. What message do my pile number 2s need to hear from the heart chakra? Message from pile number 2's heart chakra. Let me just lay the cards. Pile number 2. Message from pile number 2's heart chakra. Message from pile number 2's heart chakra. Okay, we have action, the lightning. A message from pile number 2's heart chakra. Health. A message from pile number 2's heart chakra. A message from pile number 2's heart chakra. Mars energy. Okay. And the back of the deck for you guys, we have the tree, which is strength. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of your life, pile number 2, I feel like you've been very like led by the heart, very open heart chakra, very giving, very nurturing, very loving, right? And I feel like that's just a testimony as well to your own pure heart. Like, I feel like you're very connected to the higher realms. I feel like a lot of your gifts come through your heart chakra. So I feel like incarnating on earth, it may for a lot of your life been very scary for you. Very there's this feeling of like I'm a deer in the headlights. Like, I feel tired and I feel scared and I just want to hide away because people are mean. Maybe you've had a lot of people take advantage of you. Maybe you've had a lot of people like pull on your energy a lot and take you for granted. And it's crazy because with this eye card here, it's like you've always been able to see people's motives. Like, you've known when people were taking advantage or people weren't treating you the best. Like, you've seen their motives, but you've believed in their heart. You've believed in their potential. You've seen their potential and you've allowed that to overwrite a lot of what was going on in the physical, because you were seeing things from a higher lens, because I feel like that's where your soul naturally feels more comfortable. And I feel like a lot of people may have taken you for granted. And the thing is that we need to have a balance of the light and the dark. Now, one thing I want to say very beautifully about you is you acknowledge your darkness, and I feel like you've been doing a lot of shadow work, because you wouldn't be coming to the realization of this balance had you not been doing the shadow work. You've been waking up to a lot of your darkness and a lot of other people's darkness, and that isn't a negative thing, because you've been waking up to the duality of what an incarnation on earth is like. There's much shadow on earth. There is much karma on earth. And even though the higher realms, we have this beautiful light and we see the potential, and you still hold on to this. This is still within you. However, on earth, there are different rules. And on earth, it can be very dog eat dog. And on earth, people act out of shadow. People will take. People can hurt. And it's not everybody, but it's out there. And I feel like you had to learn firsthand by your beautiful heart that people will just take and think of themselves. And it was almost like blasphemy to you, because it's like, oh my God, I would never do that to somebody. I couldn't even think of doing that to somebody. So you almost saw the absence of light and love around you and decided that you were just going to give that out. Maybe fix everybody, heal everybody. Maybe you felt hopeless because you wanted to heal the world, but like maybe you were trying to give advice to people and help people and you were seeing the potential in them, but they just weren't listening. And in turn, it was breaking your heart even more. And you would give in, and people would take in. And it didn't matter to you. You had an abundant flow of hearty energy. However, at times it was like, well, why am I not getting any of that back? Why can't I see any of that light? It was because you were that light and you were handing it out to a lot of people. But what happened here, with this card here in this thunderstorm, you went within. You said enough is enough. I need to alchemize what is causing me to just give out. I need to balance myself out. And you either went through an ego death, because this feels ego death energy, or you went through maybe a Kundalini awakening, or you have been doing extensive shadow work. You've met your shadow, you've looked at your shadow. Why do I feel the need to heal everybody? Why is my heart so overactive? What is going on here? Like, and realizing I can't heal everybody. And there's a lot of darkness in this world, and there's a lot of sadness in this world, and there's a lot of triggers in this world, and it may have scared you, it may have been a bad time for you. But I've been told what you were doing was you were leveling out. You were becoming wise to the world in front of you. And now you're stepping into a time pile number 2 where you have the wisdom, the beautiful beauty and depth of your heart and being able to see the potential, but the understanding of the truth of being in this incarnation, that not everybody can see their own abundance, their own truth, their own depth, their own I have lost the word, expectation. Not everybody else can see it. So understanding that darker side of you and that shadow side of you, you've been able to understand how people manipulate, how people take, how people do all of these things, not to use them for your own gain, but for you to become wiser when people step towards you with that, with these words, with these energies. You're using that to become wiser, and you're using it to balance yourself in this physical world and understand that yes, you want to heal, but you can't heal everybody. And on top of that, you also deserve to receive with the love that you give. And you're learning to balance these energies of I deserve this in a relationship, I deserve this in a friendship, I would like this. And asking for these things, you may be thinking, what is wrong with me? Am I becoming selfish? Am I turning into the narcissistic energy? No, you're tapping into this Mars energy. You're tapping into your divine masculine energy, and you're balancing it very well because you're still not turning dark, even tapping into it. You've taught and maybe seen the darkness of it by people, of the masculine energy in this lifetime. You know what I mean? Of the divine masculine energy. You've maybe seen that. And you've ushered it with this as darkness, but by getting to know it within yourself, you've learned to balance it out, so that now that you've balanced it out, you can see when people are abusing it, or even abusing the divine feminine. You've been able to balance it out, so that you're just, I'm surprised the balance card hasn't come out, the scales hasn't come out, because that's what's happening. You're just balancing, and you're getting used to that balance. Right now it's a little bit different. You may be having people wanting to be friends with you or connect with you, but then it's like, well, this doesn't really do it for me. This doesn't really feel like something I align with. But then you may be feeling like, oh my God, am I being bad because I don't want this? Am I being bad for saying no? You're not being bad for putting in boundaries and saying no. This is you understanding your own needs and balancing that out. You know what I mean? That person was projecting their triggers, and it was annoying me. And you may be thinking, well, in the past I wouldn't mind, in the past I would understand, and I would be able to understand it from a deeper lens, and I wouldn't feel that annoying energy. You would have felt it in the past, but you buried it down. Now you can see when someone's acting out of their triggers, but you're able to see it from a balanced view. So it's like you understand the depth and the potential and where it's coming from. You soothe it. There's empathy. However, from the other side, you see that even when you're giving advice to this person and you're helping this person, they're not taking the advice on. And that's what's causing the irritation, because you can see that they can't be helped because they don't want to help themselves. So in turn, you step away. But then there's that heart chakra part of you, that lighter side of you going, but I don't want to step away. But you can't heal everybody. And you're remembering and you're understanding that. That's where the balance comes in. So what's happening right now is the scales are just doing this a little bit right now as you adjust. You're not turning dark. When you have these feelings of maybe wanting to be a bit selfish, maybe wanting to, do something for you, that's not you turning dark, and that's a message from your heart chakra. You are balancing. giving and receiving, so that when you move about, yes, you have this beautiful heart and pure intentions, but you're diligent to the surroundings that are around you, and you are not shunning or bypassing the darkness in others and self-sacrificing. A balance is happening. That's what's happening. You're becoming more understanding of how this world works. You're not losing anything. You haven't lost anything. You can't lose your heart like that. I mean, some people can like have their heart blocked up, run away from it, but even then, you know what I mean? Even when their soul's earthbound and they decide to stay in lower vibrations, yeah, okay, they can, you know, decide to be a bit of a poltergeist and stay in their dark energy or whatever, but at the end of the day, there's still that essence of light that they could easily turn to if they wanted to, no matter how far they're running away. Even if they go low, like low into the lower realms, still going to be there. You know what I mean? It's what they're running from, but it's still going to be there. And that's what I'm being called to say to you. You're just balancing. You're just balancing these energies out. So if you're feeling like you want to be selfish right now, and you want to be spending time on you right now, and people are wanting to spend time with you, and you're like, well, I just want to be by myself, allow it. Don't guilt yourself, because that's the other part of yourself that taught you to shun that and shun your needs. It's that part of yourself that's telling you that, but you're learning to just balance. That's literally what's going on. Pile 2. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. Tap me into the collective of pile 2. What message does their heart chakra have for them right now? I never know how to say this word. Dhanishta. I hope that's the right word. It's time to let go and move on. What's holding you back? And the next card we have, pile number 2. What messages from pile number 2's heart chakra? What messages do we have from pile number 2's heart chakra? Pia. Do not fear the unknown. Find serenity in the uncertain. You're adjusting right now. You're adjusting the gears. You're getting used to it. And we've got low tide at the back of the deck. Step back and take a break. Disconnect to reconnect. Right now is about you. And I want to say that right now. Right now is about you. This is your time. I just heard Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj. Do not fear the... Yeah, you're being rewired. And I feel like you're fearing really delving into, you know, your 7 rings energy. Like, I want it. I got it. It's like you're fearing that because it's like a part of you that is like, oh my god, the audacity of me to say this, but also your energy's sacred. The other part of you, it's like you're going back and forth. Like, one part of you is like, I can't believe I just said that. It's so narcissistic of me. But then the other side of you is going, I deserve to say that though, because I have sacred energy and I deserve my needs being met. And the other sides of you, yeah, but, and it's just like you're going back and forth. Some days you're like, yeah, bow down. You know, I'm hearing Billie Eilish, you should see me in a crown. But then the other side of you, it's like, oh my god, that's horrible. I can't believe I just did that. So it's like, it's fine though. Like, you're rocking back and forth, finding a middle ground. You've done the heavy lifting. You've lived a lot of your life in one energy, and maybe you spent a lot of time in your shadow aspect. You're just balancing these energies out. You're just adjusting. That's literally what's happening here. You're not losing anything. You're going back and forth for a reason, because you're adjusting to what works for you. It's time to let go and move on. What's holding you back? Yeah. You may even be thinking back to a connection and like you're feeling forgiveness on that heart chakra side, like, I forgive you, it's fine. And then you're moving into the other side and then you're going, F you, like F you, or whatever that song is, F you and your mom and dog, or whatever the song is, I don't know. But like, I don't know, I think it's like, I don't know the words of the song, but it's like F you something. But it's like you're moving back and forth. Maybe with life as well, like, I want to have this money, or I want to have this, and it may be extensive one way, and then you're going, I just want to live in a meadow. But it's like, it's fine. Like, allow these energies to balance themselves out, because you reside in the middle, is the message from your heart chakra. So let's take a look at your cards. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So what was I saying about the overgiving energy? Like, there's this guilt. I want to help everybody. I want to fix everybody. I want to do for everybody. But there's a reminder here. it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. If you don't love yourself, you can't give it to everybody else. You need your energy right now. If you don't, I'm trying to think of like the right analogy for you guys. If you are not filled up, if your cup isn't filled up, you can't fill somebody else's cup. No matter how guilty they try and make you feel. You may be even having people as well when you're stepping into this divine masculine energy. People that benefited from you giving to them in the past, and they're going, well, that's rude. You can't be doing that. That's wrong of you. You can't be focusing on you and guilt tripping you. Because they're not getting what they had. Anybody that respects you will respect your boundaries. And if they're not respecting your boundaries, then you need to really evaluate that relationship and friendship. And that's the thing, you're going back and forth. Yeah, well, I'm going to reevaluate this friendship. But then it's like, but they need me. Allow these energies. They're just coming into focus. They're just coming in. You're just adjusting. That's what's happening with your heart chakra right now. So that is the message I have for you, pile number 2. I really hope that this resonated and you enjoyed. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your heart chakra has for you. Now you chose this card. I'm actually going to be taking a look at it last, so it can kind of eclipse and, end the reading that way. So I'm going to get straight into your energies. I'm going to tap straight into your heart chakra, and we'll see what messages need to come through. So pile number 3, please, spirit guide. Straight away I'm being shown doves for some reason. That just came straight through. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of pile number 3. Tap me into the collective of pile 3. What does the heart chakra have to say? What message does their heart chakra need right now? What message does their heart chakra need? Okay, so we have the waterfall, abundance. What message does pile number 3's heart chakra need right now? We have the sage, space clearing. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. We have empowerment, the mountains. Pile number 3. What message does pile number 3's heart chakra have? We have forgiveness, the heart. And one more card. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. What message does pile number 3's heart chakra have for them right now? What message does pile number 3's heart chakra have for them right now? What message does pile number 3's heart chakra? We have the crown. Okay, I just shared homeward bound. Like we're homeward bound from here. Like we've reached the tip of a mountain. We're on our way back down. There's an essence of that coming through. You also, at the back of the deck, have water. Okay. I feel like pile number 3, there's almost like a well done coming through straight away of your resilience and commitment to self. Like, did you set out a while ago to like commit yourself to your own growth? Like maybe, roll your sleeves up and do shadow work, or, begin a self-love journey, or begin a self-worth journey, or begin focusing on you and anything that wasn't you putting your energy in something else. It was all to do with yourself. Like there's something about like a well done coming through, that you've been focusing on you. But I'm being told that you have approached a timeline now, or you are beginning to approach a timeline where you're ready to come out of the cave and experience your newfound wisdom and energy with other like-minded individuals. And that's a strong message that is coming through, that you are going to find. I'm not going to give a date because I feel like it's going to be different for all of you, but I'm being shown a rainbow. So I'm being told that if you've been in a phase of isolation, shadow work, all of that, I'm being told it's time to step out, or it's approaching the time period to step out. And it's not something that I'm saying it and then you want to go and chase it. Take the message as it is right now. You will know when you're ready to step out. There's this energy of I'm ready to improve. Maybe the physical things in my life now that I've been going with inward. Now I'm ready to improve my social life. Maybe I'm ready to go out there. And if you're watching this and you're like, Lexi, I'm not ready yet, that's fine. You're approaching it and you'll know when it's time. So don't push it, don't fear it, don't run away when it hasn't even come in yet. Literally wait until you feel it. But I'm being told there's going to be a period soon, I'm being told the word soon, where you are going to feel this surge of energy and you'll want to kind of rebirth on physical parts of your life. Whereas right now you still may be in that introverted phase. You may still not want to be around people a lot. You may not care about how you look physically right now because you're more focused internally, and that's fine. That's part of the process. But I'm being told you're coming to a new, it's like you've washed away the old and you're stepping into the new, because we have the abundance here and the flow. It's like you've been taken elsewhere. And the fact that we have the sage here, it's like you've been clearing out. This isn't anything new. This isn't anything that you've been told to do. Like, you've been clearing out. And you may be finding even right now, Pile 3, little things in your world are like shifting and changing. Like, you may I've had a pile recently where they've been feeling like they need to redecorate. So you may be feeling the urge to like redecorate your home, move house, move city, move country, something like that. Change car. You may be thinking that you want to change up your style. You may find little things going missing, so you have to bring new ones. That's the universe's way of signaling, like, little by little newness is coming in. I'm seeing somebody decluttering drawers, making room for things, like switching up the way that they're eating. Like, I'm being shown a lot of that, like that you're being called little by little to make these tiny little shifts to make it more comfortable when this newness comes in, because there's going to come a point where it's like, boom, I'm just in this new phase, and you won't even realize it. You'll be looking back like, oh my god, that was me a year ago, this is me now. It's completely different. And I feel like that's something that's happening and slowly happening, and it's because of your diligence and commitment to self. That's why we have this in the middle of the read in the mountains. It was your commitment to self that got you to that point. You may even be feeling right now in regards to clearing out clutter that emotionally you're clearing out clutter. So you may be thinking back to people in the past, not in an angry way, not in a hurt way, but you may be feeling finally ready to forgive, or maybe having expansions in your heart again and thinking, oh my god, I miss this person. But it's, you may be mixing that with old energies, when in actuality you're feeling this energy of forgiveness within you. You're ready to move on. Forgiveness doesn't mean bringing them back, it's just ready to move on. It's okay. Like, we've had our time in the sun, we've learned the lessons. Some of them weren't great, some of them were. I forgive you. I'm ready for this new phase now where I'm happy and I'm not held back by this. So you may even be feeling a lot of forgiveness and things coming in like that as well, because I'm being told you're reaching a point where there's a lot of full circle coming through. You may even be feeling like you're going through a little bit of an ascension right now, just because we have the crown here and the energies are coming through to the crown. You may be downloading a lot right now, bringing in new information from spirit right now that you may not have had before. So that's where the aha moments are coming, because you're being rewired into another paradigm. And that's something that's happening. So your heart chakra is saying, be prepared and get ready and be in that energy of receiving, because a lot of newness is about to come in. So savor the peace right now. Not that you're going to have peace moving forward, but everything's very calm right now. Allow this time to, if you want, it's 222 on the clock, if you've been seeing that number a lot. But if you've been feeling the need to rest or whatever, listen and do it, because you're about to embark on another journey. I see new people coming into, I literally see new people coming into your life. You may even have a job switch. You may be looking for a job, changing career. You may have like a certain side career pop, like blow up or something like that. You may be having new ideas in this downloading phase for where to jump to, because you may have been through, a little bit of a shadow period where you've been like, I don't even know what I want anymore. Like, my whole idea of life has changed, so I don't even know what mountain to climb, because I have no idea what I want. Whereas if you succumb to this feeling of receiving right now, these downloads are going to come in, and then you'll have a clear-cut idea of what you want, because you'll be able to tap into it and this new version of you and what you want. So that's a message coming through from your heart chakra as well, pile number 3. But I feel like you've done such an excellent job of cleansing out the old. So now it's just it's an energy of decluttering, just like little leftover emotions. And it doesn't even feel, and it doesn't have to be leftover emotions. It could be little insecurities, or it could be little habits that maybe are taking your energy. But do you know what? It doesn't feel like anything too extensive or heavy. It's just like, if you feel like you want to take a break, and then maybe you're saying, I shouldn't be taking a break, maybe look at that and how you've spoken to yourself and change that, and comfort yourself when you're tired. Or if you you know, watching things or eating things or being around people that just don't agree with your energy, maybe review that. There's just little adjustments that are being made, but it's all in divine timing. Like with this river here, it's like flow, like be the tortoise, not the hare. Allow it to come in, because as you're making these little adjustments, little by little, your energy's just going to start to build, and all of a sudden you're bright, brand new, ready to run forward again. And I feel like that's coming in, and it's not even a case of running forward, it's just welcoming in a completely different reality. It feels a completely different paradigm, and you will see a lot of new connections coming in then that resonate with the person that you are today. It's not going to be like the past, because you know, when we look at the reality that we have, it's a reflection of what's going on within. So if we don't feel that we are loved, we are going to be around people and attracting people that don't know how to love. You know what I mean? Because that's what makes us feel safe. We don't know how to receive love, so we look for emotionally unavailable people, because it's what all we know. But you've saged and cleansed that, so now you're in that energy of you know, pure love, and you can stand in that. You're going to be drawing in something different. If someone's looking for someone to validate them, they're always going to be met with someone that's taken maybe their power away or something like that, until they realize that that power was always in them, because we are always attracting what's within. That's what shadow work is. I don't even need to tell you that, you already know, but you're somewhere else now, and this is where you're shifting to. And I see a lot of newness, pile number 3, coming in. There's an energy strongly to go with the flow right now. Go with the flow, go where the wind takes you, listen to your body. It's like the tide's taking you where you need to go. There's like a strong essence of that. You may have days where you're low, you may have days where you're high, but just allow the tide to take you either way, because there's so much newness coming in. And I'm being told you're already seeing it. You're already seeing a difference and a shift. I remember when I opened up to receiving, right? And I was finally in that energy of receiving. I overgave like my whole life. And I'd always been the one buying presents and gifts for everyone. And I was in that energy of receiving, and I knew I was worthy and all of this. And all of a sudden, people just kept buying me things. Like, this is no joke. Like, my nan, my mum, even my sister would bring in me literal physical presents. Never experienced anything like that. They were just buying me things. I was like, why have you got me this for? Oh, just because they'd never done it before. And I hadn't done anything. It was just that energy was shifting within me, in that energy of receiving, and it was like a magnet that was just bringing these things to me. I was like, oh my god, like it felt a bit weird at first to adjust to it, like, why are you doing this? Like, oh my god, like it felt weird, but that was me being open to receiving, and it was like a magnet. Little things were coming in, and people were just doing this and that. So it was like, that's what I'm being called for you to just listen, be in that state of receiving, be in that flow, because little by little you're coming back to yourself. You're feeling brighter, your energy's coming back, and you don't have to go and chase anything. It's all going to flow in naturally. You're literally approaching that paradigm, but don't chase it. Don't try and jump to it. It's literally happening right now. It's slowly taking you there. But the minute you seek for it and project for it, it's going to be further away. You just want to be where you are currently, in the present moment, and it's going to be here. That's something that's coming through there. So let's pull some more cards. Let's pull some more cards. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides, a message from the heart chakra. I feel like you're opening up to receiving as well. I definitely feel like you've been doing shadow work to open up to some sort of receiving, or just knowing who you are, so other people that know who they are around you, and you don't have people maybe disrespecting you or taking from you. Or again, you know, heart chakra energies, maybe you're finding that broken birds aren't really being drawn to you anymore. You know what I mean? Or you're able to spot them from a mile off and shut that down, which is then making leeway, decluttering for newness to come in, because you're telling the universe, yep, this is my paradigm. Very interesting. There's a strong new beginning coming in for you. And I feel like you've wanted it, but in the past you were searching for it, like trying to push yourself out of the shadow phase. Like, I want to be happy again. I want to be in the light again. I want to feel this way again. But it was like, it wasn't time yet. You know what I mean? And now it's just slowly starting to come in. Pile number... what do we have? We have murky water. I always call, when I do shadow work and stuff like that, I call it murky water. And I didn't realize this card literally said that. Murky water, self-reflection and introspection are needed to regain clarity. That's what you've been doing. That's what you've been doing. Because the thing is, when we're led by our triggers and our subconscious mind, it's like we're on a ship in the dark, don't know where we're going, and we are just going anywhere that we can. And we don't know if a light is a lighthouse. We don't know if a light is someone burning a fire or someone's trying to draw us in to like steal from our ship. We don't know. We're just going to go towards the light anyway. We don't know any different because it's our subconscious mind and the darkness that's driving us. But when we sit with that murky water and we sit in the darkness and we get to know it, our eyes can adjust and we're able to see clearer. And then we're able to move forward. And I feel like that's what you've done, the self-reflection as to why you may have been falling into old patterns, which has now had you jump to a different paradigm. Pile number 3. Message from pile number 3's heart chakra. Sunken ship, your past does not have to define your future. Exactly, you're leaving it in the past, you're leaving it in your dust. You may be worrying. There's a bit of worry here that you're going to have the same set of experiences as you did in your past. But that's impossible because you're not even the same person. And you know you're not the same person as before. What you need to do now is trust in yourself and trust in the person you've become. That's all you need to be doing. Trusting in the person that you've become. And that when an opportunity does present itself that, you know, may mirror something from your past, you'll be able to understand that and shut it down from your own wisdom. I would say the only focus for you right now that your heart chakra wants you to tap into is your trust in what you've already learned and the wisdom you've already gained. Trust. The back of the deck, we have hibiscus. Enjoy each moment to the fullest. So there's like a lot of happiness around this corner, a lot of newness and brightness around this corner. The night is about to end. Like, that's what I'm being told. I'm being shown like dawn. Like, you know, do you guys wake up early in the morning? I love to wake up really early and it's still dark and then I watch the sun come up. One of my favorite things to do, and the birds start to tweet and you have that crisp morning air. You're approaching that part, but don't, you know, try and bring the sun in now. Like, allow it to come. It always comes in. Just allow it to come and be focused on where you are currently at. But trust in who you've become, that you wouldn't allow old situations to come in, because there's a lot of newness that is about to make its way in. Let's take a look at the back of your card now. Guys, oh, I love this. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. You're deciding now. You're deciding now what is in your own remit and what is not. You're deciding it. In the past, your shadow and your subconscious would have led you. That happens to everyone. We're on autopilot. Our shadow's leading the way. We don't even know that that's happening. But you're aware now. So you decide what's coming in. And you've got a beautiful new energy coming in. And yes, okay, some people may still try and pull and whatever. Some people may try and come back from the past. But you know, and you have the power to say no and walk away at any time. That's what this card means. You choose. This pen is in your hand. And that's what your heart chakra wants you to know. You may even sometimes watch love readings, right? And be like, you may hear it. It may sound very, romantical or whatever. And you'll be like, oh, I don't think I could have that. Don't sell yourself short. Because it's up to you now what you have. Think of the best possible outcome and allow it to come in. You decide now. You know what I mean? You decide what affects you. I'm hearing the Tinashe song from Small Reminders. Nothing hurts me anymore unless I let it. Because all it is really is a distortion, and I feel like you've learned enough to know that. But there's a strong message here. Trust in the person that you've become. Beautiful. There's a revamp of the heart chakra, and I feel like because of that, there's a lot of newness. And I do feel like connections, whether friendship or relationship, I do feel like coming in. That usually happens with a new beginning that you're literally approaching. So pile 3, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. It's 33 on the clock as I look over, just to let you know. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.